am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is Righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the date done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, second place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Trick Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
William D. Memorial High School D-Cup Alumni presents its third annual fundraising barbecue on Memorial Day, May 30th, 2022. Wear your favorite jersey to Wilsonwood Park in Mount Vernon, New York. Remember to take exit 12 off the Hutchinson River Parkway. Music by DJ Mad Max of Sound 1000. Proceeds to aid the William D. High School Acosta Cup team. For more information, contact Keegan 304-607-4034. Our codfish at 954-639-2991. Proud of people, it's important. Remember, make sure say oh no did that.
Yo, saw me, the young Jamaican trainer, Mr. Strength No Weakness himself. Yo, I'm here to tell you guys that the Broses family presents their second annual Blue and White Grill and Chill. Let me let you know something. It will be so much fun, an amazing event. Make sure you show up and show out. From the young Jamaican trainer himself. Listen, Saturday, May 28th, and it's 3458 Ballard Avenue, Bronx, New York. We'll see you later. Strength No Weakness.
All right. Greetings and good morning. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I'm your host. Be a wonderful day. I am telling you, it is the day after Jamaica, after 10 years, secured a home win in World Cup qualifying games. After 10 years. First in 10 years. 10 years. The last time we won a home game in World Cup qualifying is a 4-1 victory, I believe, over Antigua. And we finally did that last night, right? Goals by Leon Bailey and Ravel Morrison, right? We have a great, I call it, this is a banger, big interview that we're going to do right now. And so, I'm not going to waste a lot of time to introduce our guest, but we're going to do a lot of the formal stuff and then we get into it. All right. It is so good because this is the first person who played football at Calabar that we'll be interviewing. The first. All right. And it is so apt that the time when we're interviewing them is right before Boys and Girls Champs, which starts next week, and the final of Cool's Challenge Quiz. And Calabar is in it. So it's going to be a very interesting conversation that we're going to have. But let me welcome you to the forum, welcome you to our platform. I am Man in His Man because I attend the great 1738, the ancient light of learning in splendor shining over all the West. You understand me? When other schools speak about blue, we say to them, we were the first school in blue in Jamaica. Get that right. All right. But let's say a big thank you to our sponsors, Launch Legacy. Launch Legacy, we handle risk and seek legacy for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA. Visit them at Launch Legacy or call or text them at 647-989-0782. Also want to say a big thank you to Prestige Finance. Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it most. Prestige Finance, they're offering you loans of up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars. They're located in Linstead, St. Catherine, Jamaica, and their number is 876-884-7390. All right, give them a call, and if you tell them that you heard about them from I Am Sure Sports, you'll pay no processing fee, same day processing, and you'll get somewhere between 0 to 4% interest rate. Please remember to check out what's happening with the Rossi's Bro Sister Foundation as they're seeking to establish a world-class sporting facility on their campus, and they need your support. If you're out there in the States, in the tri-state area, you can attend the event that they're having. You can also support the William Knabe Memorial High School. You know, they just had a student that their goalkeeper that passed away, and they're keeping an event to help support and sustain their Da Costa Cup team. Also, as we begin, right, I want to restart something that we started doing at the beginning of the program, which is giving some inspiration, a quote, a message, and a word. And I want to share something because we have been having some debate and conversations on the platform, and I want to help us to understand just in life some important things. And so I have a quote here that is centered around education and knowledge. It's by this English essayist. His name is Joseph Addison. And this is what Addison said from one of his writings. He said, education is a companion which no misfortune can depress, no crime can destroy, no enemy can alienate, no despotism can enslave. At home, a friend, abroad, an introduction, in solitude, a solace, and in society, an ornament. It chastens vice. It guides virtue. It gives at once grace and government to genius. Without it, what is man? A splendid slave, a reasoning savage. All right? So my thought to you is be educated and seek knowledge. Never stop learning and never stop acquiring knowledge, because without it, we are enslaved mentally. So expand your knowledge base and increase in wisdom. Good to be with you this morning. Without any further ado, I'm going to invite and introduce our guest this morning. A Calabar standout, played for Boystown, Rochester Rhinos, short stint at Hazard, played college football, doing well in life. So you can know that there are footballers who after football, they have life because they use football as a medium, even if they're not professional footballer, to make themselves into worthwhile professional. His name is Leon Minot. They call him Juvenile, and at some point he's going to tell us why at his age he's still referred to as Juvenile. So let's welcome the former Calabar man to I Am Sure Sports, Mr. Minot, welcome.
Can't hear you.
Yeah?
I
You're not
can't
hearing
hear.
me? Oh, we are hearing you. Oh, we are hearing you. We are hearing you. Are you hearing us? We are hearing you. Are you hearing us?
I can't hear you.
Oh, all right. All right. All right. So, restart.
I can't hear.
Okay. All right. So let me help. All right. So let's see if we can fix this. We're just okay. All right. Cut off. Cut off. You cut off. Bim. Sign language. All right. So we're gonna have him. We're gonna have our guest sign out and just sign back in. So just stick and stay with us. You know that this is so funny because we were just talking and everything was working fine. And I think some adjustment was made on his side. Yeah. So this is going to be good. When things nice, they give problems sometimes. You know what I'm talking about, don't you all? Yeah, man. Big up all of you in the chat. Listen, if you have not yet, please ensure that you subscribe to the platform so you can support the work that we are doing here at I Am Sure Sports. So go ahead and subscribe. In the meantime, in between time, as our guest re-enters the studios of I Am Sure Sports. All right, are you hearing me now? Can you hear me now? All right, take out your headset and see. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, you're not hearing me? All right, we're gonna fix this. Yeah, loud music entertainment. Bless up. GTHU 93. Balakar, bless up. Travis Peso, bless up. Chris Romans, blessings and respect. And like I said, we have some great interviews lined up in the near future. I mean, we have some names that we have made contact with that they're waiting to come onto the program. Later this evening we'll be doing our review of the match last night between Jamaica and Honduras. I did get it right. I told you that Jamaica was going to win, and we did, and so that's good. That's good. You understand me? Really, listen. I listen to Paul Hall, and I see the players' reaction. You can tell by body language and all of those things, that things are in my eyes a whole lot better than they were before. All right, so let's see. We're just trying to set up and make sure that everything is in place this time around. So let's see if we get this right now. Are you hearing me now?
Yes.
All right, there you go. Finally, well, welcome again. So you missed all of the wonderful things you were saying about you. I can't believe that.
That's good, as long as it's wonderful. But before I start, I just want to say, thanks for having me. And I just want to give shout out to all your subscribers and your fans and all the football family, just blessing.
Yeah, it's so sad because in the first shot that we had, we were able to see what color cap you have on, but now we can't see it, which is a good thing. Oh, no.
I put it right there. It's school challenge quiz. So all the San Diego people, we have you tonight. Tonight is Rabalak night. Today is all Rabalak. We're celebrating already.
All right. Well, so good to have you, Mr. Minot, former Calabar, Boys Town, Hazard, Rochester Rhinos player. And I want you to begin by sharing with your subscribers or fans and all the persons listening your journey in football. Where did it all start, all the way through your Manning Cup career and local competitions here in Jamaica?
Where it started, that's a good question. But it started in a little place named Sydenham in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, with a club named Federal. I mean, as soon as I live right across the street from the field, literally the field was in my front yard. So that's where it started, Federal. Played under, I was about 9, played under 15. A young man, another Rabalak named Kevinton Henry, was overseeing the youths in the community, and he saw something in me that I didn't know that I had in me. And he started to mentor in me. I played Federal at the young age, went to Pass and went to Calabar, and then started playing Pepsi from first form. Actually passed common entrance while I was 10, so started playing Pepsi at a young age anyways. And then from Pepsi, I played Pepsi and Colts and Pepsi. When I went to Calabar, at that time when you go out for a Pepsi team, it's almost like, 100 people, everybody in our first and second farm go out for the Pepsi team. So, Bonnie Marshall was a physical education teacher there. I guess he saw talent in me and he chose me at the time. And then from there, it just went upstream. Play Pepsi Colts, lose the Pepsi finals my first year to KC, unfortunately, 1-0. And then the same Pepsi team, which had like Michael Bowen and Daigi Reds, just to name a few, we went on to Colts, and we lost in semifinals in the Colts 2 years to KC. And while I was playing Pepsi and Colts, no.
So the same, let me just ask, just for clarity, the same Pepsi team that beat the same KC team that beat you in Pepsi was the same one that beat you in Colts?
Yep. Unfortunately, again.
So there are 3
that
types.
Is, you see the reason why I don't really deal with the purple people. Because they, but anyways, the story got better as we progressed in my footballing career. Because, when we went to Manning Cup, then it was a different story. But yeah, they beat us in Pepsi and Colts. And then I played Colts and I played Manning Cup. Well, when I was playing Pepsi, we used to train with the Colts team, and that's how I got the name Juvenile. Is like, I'm still short and stuff, but at the time I was maybe 5 feet, tipping on my toes, so I was like really little and playing with the big boys. And I remember Steve Thompson got a skill, and said, "Oh, this look a Juvenile, so wassy," and then from there it stick, So I was playing Pepsi, train with the Colts team. Then I start playing Pepsi and Colts, and then Colts and then Manning Cup. So we never win any Colts. Then we went to Manning Cup. My first year was 1984 in Manning Cup. And we went to Walker Cup and the Manning Cup semifinals. We lost to JC in the Manning Cup semifinals, 1-0. And then we lost in Walker Cup semifinals to Georges, who went on to win 2-0. Thanks to Andrew Price and Christopher Zadi and Christopher Morgan and all that wonderful 84 JC St. George's team. Yeah, we lost. And I think that year 84 Calabar had all the opportunity to win. I think we had the squad. I think we had a top squad with Patrick Perando, Michael Bowen, Daigi Reds, Paul Washington, Richie Sterling in goal. got a skill, Verdi Green. I mean, we had, you name it, we had a really, really, really strong squad. But
And who was the coach?
well, I was going to get there. Raymond
Oh,
Beek was
sorry.
the coach, and I think that is probably was biggest downfall. I mean, no disrespect to Raymond Beek, but and I have to give him his respect still. But in reality, is that I think Bradley Stewart had groomed that team,
Oh
but
yeah.
but unfortunately, he got fired right before the season started, and then Raymond Beek took over. So, and then Bradley went to help JC, who beat us in the semifinals, 1-0 that year.
Whoa.
But I
Oh,
think
so Bradley was in charge of the Pepsi and the Colts team.
no, Bradley was in charge of the Manning Cup team, 83 and then 84, because he was overseeing everything. So he would, we would train with the Manning Cup team and stuff, and Bradley would bring in some of the younger, promising youths
Yeah.
to train. So he was really grooming that team for 84, and then, they had fallout, all the boys' schools and them thing with the old boys, and if fall out of favor, and they fired him. So I think that was one of our biggest reasons why we didn't give Georges a good run for their money in '84. Raymond Beek, respect to him, but Raymond Beek is no Bradley Stewart when it comes to coaching and technical know-how.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons. That's just how life goes. And then '85 was not a good Manning Cup season for Calabar. Actually, let me go back. You talk about KC beat us up in Pepsi and Colts, but in '84, we destroyed KC in the mud and water game in stadium. I think, Paul Washington Daigi.
That was sweet revenge.
Sweet revenge, and it continued. So it didn't stop there. I think the sweeter revenge was in '85, but in '85. We didn't have a good Manning Cup season. The first game, I got hurt. I got my shoulder injury, and I was out for pretty much all the season. I came back right before the Walker Cup started, and then we just went on a streak. Not saying it's me, but I think that was one of the biggest issues with it. Richie, who was top goalkeeper, he broke his finger. In preseason, and then he was playing center forward at the time. Him and Michael Bowen and he was dictating midfield
because he couldn't keep. He played center forward.
Yeah, man, Richie, a top player. He's not a goalkeeper. I mean, he could play any position he wanted to play.
Oh,
he was that good. He was just an all-round athlete, but he was a better goalkeeper.
Okay.
So he broke his finger. So that I got hurt. So we didn't really have a good Manning Cup season, but Walker Cup. We start on a winning streak, and then we played KC in the semifinals in stadium that night. And probably other people will tell you better than I do, because it's like surreal to me. It was a dominant performance. I mean, I don't even know. I think they say at one stage we knocked the ball like almost 50 passes before KC touched the ball. It was one of those dominant performances that night. And the KC people will tell you that it was George Thompson's birthday that day, and they were all coming for a birthday present for him. But we disappointed them at that time. So we went to the Walker Cup finals.
What was the score of the game?
1-0. We beat them still, but it was one of those games where we could have won. But whatever score we want it to be, it was that dominant. Michael Bowen picked one up from probably about 30 yards, and he did pass. Who was it? Sang in the goal at the time for KC. KC had that star team with Perry Marshall, Brian Clark, Mabiko Ventura, Salah Lewis, McCree.
Yeah. Oh, that team with Salah Lewis, they did win.
Yeah, I think they won. I don't know. I don't remember if they won Manning Cup that year, '85. But yeah, they were like around there. Them and Georges was like dominant.
Okay. All right, continue. So you beat them in the semifinals of the Walker Cup.
And then
go ahead. Yeah.
1-0, and then we went to the finals, and again, Christopher Morgan, Chipper, Big up yourselves, cheaper.
St. George's again.
St. George's again.
So when it's not Casey, Calabar have a bad record
It's a
against
North
North
Street thing still, but it's not so bad with George's. We give them big up Price and Rajalin and Chris and Nick Zied and all of the George's people them, but
Yeah.
it's not so bad with George's, but KC is just one of them things with KC and Calabar. So we're not even going to talk no more about it still, because sooner or later them will be on my case, which is like next week. But yeah, so Chris Chipper score a free kick from outside of the box. He hit it. I don't know if he hit it with that much power, but I think Richie was a little bit rusty and fearful of his finger, and he probably said differently, but I'm going to say the same, because if it was normal Richie, actually, that would be like probably a control in his chest type of thing, because it hit straight to him. It's just that, it kind of like bent back, like he was like scared of his finger, and it kind of went in. So it wasn't like one of those were spectacular or anything like that. It hit straight to Richie, and Richie probably will tell you, if he had to redo it again, he probably would have headed out if he's scared of falling it with his hand. But anyways, no disrespect to Blade. Big up yourself still. So we lost that 85. Allman was on the Allman in squad, didn't play. Mr. T said, George T told me that,
because you're still young.
I'm very young, so he's gonna keep me in the squad, but he's gonna play the
older players.
The older players, them are more deserving. And then 86, most of the youths, them kind of like they graduated from high school, so it was just more me and Daigi, 86, carrying the thing. We didn't really have a good year, actually. But I made the all-man team and the all-school team. Went to Trinidad. And actually, when we were in Trinidad, the first game we played, it was me and Ifidel playing centre half. If you know, so it's two shortest people on the field playing centre.
So I thought why did I believe you're a right back?
In high school, I play centre half. I play sweeper for the entire for all high school. Throughout my high school career.
So how you're playing forward with Ifidel?
No man, Ifidel plays centre half.
Ifidel Hamilton?
Me and him play two shortest people are playing an out job, but they 6 footers them. Freddie them can tell you still because they were there. Paulion can tell you. So, but even before we reached 86, 85 was one of the years where play with the Barbican minor league team, where coached by Liebert Aleman.
Liebert Aleman, he spoke about
and Paul Young, top youth. Chico Rivera, Bumi Isaacs, Mark Miller, Blacker Miller. We have Yap from Dunoon, Marvin Chin in goal. Englishman Johnny. We had a top team. We didn't lose any game that year. In minor league, and we play in DNG. We played Jonestown with Gorilla Davy and Belly Dias and the whole Charlie Smith Arnett thing, and that game was like an eye-opening game for me, because the players ran up on some ball run in the minor league finals. Paul Young scored a goal that right on the top of the D. When he hit that free kick, the ball past Donald Stone, the ball rebound off the supporting bar and came back out, and the referee said no goal. And we were protesting, and him said no goal, and we get the free kick at the same spot. And no joke, Paulie tell Donald Stone, say go and hit it the same place.
Yeah.
This time the ball each up in the net. Yeah man, them time the Paulie, when Paulie I kicked the ball, goalkeeper move out of the way. So that was like really start a lot of good things for me in my football career, is the that minor league win. And I think the year before that, that year also playing for Federal, in Division One. This is the year right before I went to Boys Town, playing Division One.
So you really didn't win a major schoolboy title at Calabar?
Nah, unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
But that's just how it goes sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. But go ahead. So the year now you had
That year,
Federal.
85, yeah, I was playing. I was also in high school. I was playing for Federal in the division, in the St. Catherine Division One at the time. That was the top St. Catherine league for Federal. Was the most outstanding defender in the Division One that year as a schoolboy. And I helped them when the Hume Stewart knockout trophy that year. It's Federal. And I don't want to push Federal off because it's so significant in my journey, and there's so many talented players at Federal and in St. Catherine that really didn't get the exposure. I mean, probably players that I would consider better than me, but I don't know if they wanted more than me. So I just want to big up the Federal people, although them, I think them, what am they now? I think them still in the St. Catherine top
Yeah, they're
league.
still playing. I think they play either in the Super League. I know they were in the Super League at one point. I don't know if they're still or they're in the Major League, but they're still.
They're still up there,
Yeah.
So I big up, you have people like, well, him is the next KC man. What if a KC man so I'm still, Pot, Big Red, KC goalkeeper, and I'm a good friend and was a top goalkeeper, and unfortunately, I don't even know why him never keep more for KC, but he was another top player who won the Happy Sutherland knockout with me. And then 86, as I said, didn't do too well at Calabar. It was just me and Daigi carrying the load, and we didn't really reach the semifinals or anything. So at that time, Freddie and Paul Young, them team was hot, and KC was hot. So
that was Wolmer's and Dunoon.
Yeah, Wolmer's and Dunoon, and then JC was hot, KC was hot. So just one of those things where we just have to. We're all our own, but we just weren't as good. And then 87, 88, I had a very young team at Calabar, and Marie Cyrus win that year, but big him up still, an Aleman. But we played Excelsior at Sabina Park, and if Jati Thomas had told me that if we lose 3 goals, we still go through to the semifinals, I would have not played midfield that day, and I'd have played centre half, and I know and I know Excelsior couldn't beat the 4-1. So we lost 4-1, and because we lost 4-1, that is how Stats went through
to the final,
to the semifinal round. If we had lost 3-0.
Don't let Murray Cyrus come.
No, but it's facts. It's facts. If we had lost 3-0, Stats wouldn't go through. And if Excelsior knew that if we had lost 3-0, they wouldn't beat us 4 because them get punishment by Stats in the finals.
Oh, I see what you mean. So Excelsior would not have won by that amount if they knew.
No, because me and I Fidel would have talk out the thing.
Yeah, because both of you played together.
Yeah, me and I Fidel would have talk about the thing, and we'll make the thing. But that's our life is.
It's funny. Every time I hear about Stats winning that year, there's an Excelsior story that comes up in the final as to why they were beaten the way they were. All right. And now I hear in the Calabar story as to how Excelsior got how Stats got to the semifinal.
Yeah, but
they had a good team though, They had a very good team.
No, I'm not saying anything about them team. I'm just saying it was their year to win because all the cards fall in
there.
In their hand. True. You know what I'm saying? Because that game against Excelsior, Jati asked me where I want to play. And I say, yeah, I'm going to play in the middle of the park. But I leave round at the back, not too strong. And I know if I
Who was on the Calabar? Who was on the Calabar team that year? Because it was you and, like I said, Daigie Reds were the main.
Daigie wasn't there in 87. It was a bunch of young stuff. You had guys like Andrew Rusty Graham. You had people like Percival Gale. I mean, some ballers where most people don't really know. Delton Shenner was with me, but he was just coming. You know what I'm saying?
He was in second form at that time.
Geddes Alexander, just the youngsters, them just coming still, but they're never ready yet for the big stage, And I think it was a year or two after that, then they start really becoming dominant.
Because the Denton Shannon team with Geddes Alexander.
Man.
So
that was where they were like just coming out of Colts and playing with me. I was the only like senior. I mean, Leroy Arden, I don't know if you know that baller, but him is a top youth still. He used to play in the Jamaica youth setup. Yeah. So he was there with me as well, But the majority of the team was very young still. Guyan was just coming up. Guyan Davison. Yeah, he was just coming. So most of the youth them was just coming out of Cold still. So 87. So and then 87 played Allman and played the all school team with Morrison and Nectar Wright and Aggle and Marvin Chin beat Trinidad.
You were part of that team that defeated Trinidad.
Mm-hmm. So that was part of the upcoming, and that time I was still playing. I was playing at Boys Town.
Oh, so by this now you had left because you left Federal in 86 to go to Boys Town. Mm-hmm. So in 87 you're already at Boys Town playing at Boys Town because Boys Town had a big team that time.
But I was playing. I was in the start of the lineup playing left back. So when I reached big man football now, and probably more because of my height, I started playing wing back, and then I had pace and stuff. So that's where I started playing the big man football.
So how did you end up at Boys Town? I mean, you went to Calabar. You're a St. Catherine man. How you end up at Boys Town?
So the Boys Town thing is that remember that
Wanderers.
And me and Paul Young did a par. I'm a par still. That it's like my brother that still me and Paul Young, and Paul was playing because Carl Brown was coaching Wilma's in 84, and Carl Brown was helping. So Carl Brown brought Peter Isaacs and Paul Young to Boys Town as schoolboys, and then because of that, I went because I was close to Paul Young at the time, and then Aleman was like it was very integral in my progress at a youth age. He encouraged me to go there as well.
Okay.
So that's and Paul Young is a Spanish Town person too, So just
really,
yeah. Paul Young come from Central Village, so it's me and him used to party every time I go Barbican, go play minor league, or where I go. It's just me and him. Always see me and him. If Wolmer's a player, me there stadium. If Calabar play him.
How long did he play? He didn't play for Boys Town long though.
So he played what he played 2 years, and then the year before he went away, I think, and Paulie probably can correct me. I think the year before he went away on his scholarship, he went to Hazard.
To Hazard. Okay. All right. Listen, we have a lot of comments, so we're going to just take a couple of minutes and go through some of the comments, and then we get back to some more of the story because now we're into senior football. Because that great Calabar team did not win anything, you understand? But
them did start dominating. I know certain sometimes Calabar was just destined. We can't win everything. Remember at that time we had dominated track and field, so we can't just win everything.
Really?
We give some schools some things too. So
at that time you were winning champs?
That's all right, man. We've been winning champs from me and there, Calabar, from me a little bit before even go Calabar. So we're dominating something. We win school challenge and we win other things. So we can't just win Manning Cup all the time.
All right. So I see Garfield Ratty Robinson saying that.
Yeah, man, bless up.
Yeah, man. He's in the building. And
Ratty was on the 87. The 87 art school team where mash up Trinidad too. Him did that in the middle of the park,
Yeah,
bless up, Ratty. Bless up yourself.
He was on the next All-Star team that didn't win anything.
No, we're not going to camp there. You have to interview him about the party.
I did. We did interview
You
him
have to
already.
interview him and Danny and Pepsi and Pele there.
Keenan out there booming says, "That's my pops." You
Yeah,
know,
man,
so-
that little boy is the next one who was the top baller still, but he never really love it. That is my son still.
yeah. And then I see here, this is a Calabar man that is on all the platform. He calls himself Brain Drain, which is suggesting that he left Jamaica and he's part of the brain drain that in Jamaica. So only a Calabar man would come up with this name, right? He considers himself artificial intelligence. You understand me? So that's all we know about him. But he has been longing for a Calabar. Said, "No, you have gotten your wish, brain drain." And then this person says, "This is H. Margie says, Juby the small axe who chopped down enough big tree. Big up C-Bar, man."
All the time, man, lion roaring.
Yeah, and then GTHU93 says, "Yes, Wayne Palmer mash up Excelsior in the final that year."
No,
And
man,
then,
Wayne Palmer never played the finals.
yeah,
Wayne
and then,
Palmer did already graduate.
yeah, and then I see this is Patrick Reed from Excelsior saying, "Bless up Leon Minot, Rabalak legend."
Bless up. Big up yourself.
Yeah, and this is Denton, Garnet Denton. Garnet Denton was the captain of the Valley Kickers, man from out west, and William Nib in them time. Yeah, you know Garnet Denton, Codfish.
Yeah, man.
All right. Yeah, man. All right. So continue the story now. So you're part of the 87 team that defeated Trinidad, but you're also were you representing Jamaica outside of our school, Jamaica youth team during that time, and how did you do in the Jamaica youth setup at that time?
No, at that time, I never really have no volley for you set up the year 87 when me and I think it was me and Cyrus and Hector couldn't play the juvenile that year because I think it's because the rules were if you were born before the September cutoff,
right, the 1st of September.
Yeah, so that was it. So it was a couple of us couldn't play that youth team where and Shorty Malcolm and Boopy and guys like that played on that team. But
that's the Jamaica under 20s.
Yeah, under 19 at the time.
Under 19.
Under 20 at the time, but under 19, yeah.
Oh. Okay. And so your career continued then at Boys Town.
Yeah. So when I first got to Boys Town, that was what 85, 86. I was with the first game I played for Boys Town. They were playing a game against an English team, that invitational English team that came and were playing in this national stadium. And then one big like giants, because those times it was those big strong English players, and that was my first game played.
But you had big players, man, at Boys Town. You know what, Joe Downer, man.
I gotta tell you have Ali McNabb out there, Joe. You have Milton, you have Andrew Price, you have Donovan Panton.
Hardware.
Yeah, man, Milton Hardware. Yeah. Devon wasn't playing. I think Devon was suspended at the time. You had Paula Quart. You had a lot of Windy Jackson. Boys Town side was loaded at the time, I think. And then you had like Thomas McLean would come home. And that year, Diego just returned. So I played with Diego that one. Then you have Lenny. You had Boomer. You had Andy Shrimpy Stevenson. Cyrus never come yet. Is the year after that Cyrus came. So we had like a really strong team, because Boys Town is Boys Town.
English team.
Huh?
You see, you play against the English team, and they were giants compared to that.
Yeah, man. But that is the first game I play. But the thing about it is that I think that is the game that Carl Brown really give me like I got Carl Brown attention because of my own against the big, grown, oversized people. The instruction was no crosses, and that's what I did. Maybe just showing, being a little man and do the things that I did, I think that's one, and overlapping and getting down there and getting the crosses in and stuff. So I think that was really the start of my Boys Town career. You know, when first time when I went to Boys Town, again, I tell you that it was nerve-wracking because the entire Rima was watching practice, and that is consistently every day. I mean, the players pack up like a matcha player, and you and people who know in the ghetto, you know, them go and tease you, and if you get mashed up, your career can. So it was like something that I did never ever experience in training. In the game, yes, but that was it. And then you had, you know, Lenny Hyde, and you had Diego Garden, and you had Thomas McLean. You had all of these big name players that you just hear about, and a little schoolboy playing with them. But you know, the greatest thing that happened that day is that after the training, the man them start tease Samidi, which is Donald Davison, to say, you know, you don't have no more game because Juvenile will take him game. So I get confidence that at least them give me a sign of approval, you know. So that was like really good experience for me. And but Boys Town is where, although Federal is where my born and grow, and that's where, you know, it all started. Boys Town is where my art from a footballing standpoint is, because it's just the love that the people in Rima just show me, and not only me, but everybody else who don't grow up in Rima. Them just show me love. I can't explain it, and it's just one of them energy and the thing that when I was playing at the Boys Town, I always feel like we couldn't lose any game, because you always have that vibe and that energy and that belief and the whole community behind you, and it's just like a surreal feeling, and that's why they capture my heart. You know, that's just the club that, you know, beside obviously Federal is my home club, but that is the club that have my heart in Jamaica.
Yeah. So, I mean, how long was your Boys Town career? How many years were you there before you actually leave? And because
so I played Boys Town 3 years before I leave, and then the final year, which was 89, we won all trophies, you know, and that year I was the most outstanding junior player in National Premier League. That's the year that Mari Cyrus scored that wicked goal against Seba. You know, you have Clive Smith keeping, Pantan, we had Price, we had Upton Francis Jack, Sammy D playing, Jimmy Barnes, Wilfred Francis, big up Raga. You had Joe Downer, Milton Hardware, Andy Stevenson, Lenny Hyde, Boomer Hyde. I mean, we had like a top team, real top team, and we win Major League that year, we win National League, and then they had like this All Island where we beat Reno in a stadium, and so we won the 3 trophies that were available in front of us.
Okay. So you were able to win everything in 3 years, but it was in your last year that you won everything with Boys Town.
Yeah.
All right.
And then at the end of that year, the August of that year, I got scholarship and went to college. But during the year that we beat Trinidad, at the end of that year, I got my first call up from Murty Scott in the national team, and then I played with Murty Scott again in right before I leave and go to college. And
so your first international game for Jamaica was?
We played Dominica.
Okay, you played in that game?
Yeah, I started in that game in Dominica, and you know, play with like Cabra and Badas Carbet, you know, Sertan Thompson. You know, those are the guys. They were my elders.
Oh, in the Jamaica team?
Yeah, in the Jamaica team.
Yeah. And T-Gat and those guys?
T-Gat and those there were there as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, as a schoolboy and going into getting your first call up, you know, you have Anthony Corbett was the one who kind of took me under his wing, you know, because he was going to Clarendon. He drive every night to Clarendon, so he would drop me off at Spanish Town.
Oh, yeah.
So he kind of took me under his wing and kind of like guided me through the know-hows of dealing with big man international football, and most of the time we need that.
Okay, and so
Because
the next time, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, so we need that. So I didn't know what to expect, but having an experienced person like Bada's guiding you, so it was a very, very big help.
Yeah, and so the next time you got called up was right before you left for college.
Yeah, that was in that shell tournament, and then I got called up here, and then while I was in college also, in
So
'92
the
for the
shell, the shell tournament. No man, you can't. Don't get to the college yet. The shell tournament that you went to was it played in Jamaica or overseas?
No, it was playing. It was home and away games. You used to go, like, I'd go to Dominican, and then St. Lucia came to Jamaica, so it wasn't
Oh,
really like in one area that you were playing at the time.
okay. So you played in that Shell Cup. You went to college, and then during college you got called up as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
During college, I got called up. I was part of the '94 World Cup campaign. That was, I think we were trying to qualify, but I was like around '92 and stuff. I played on the team. You had like Hector, you have Badas, Tati Brown,
Anglin.
Winston Anglin, Hector Wright. I mean, Paul Young. That was the team that we were playing. T-Gat was there. That was a team that I was part of. Chichi, which is Arias Pitt, was part of that setup as well. I mean, I don't know if you know Chichi,
Man,
but
I know Horace Pitt.
So that was the team that was at
I
that
think Horace
time
Pitt came back to Jamaica and was playing for Seba at
for
one
Seba
point.
for a while,
Yeah.
as well.
Center forward. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that during college All American in college. I mean, I went to
Yeah.
Rochester, Roberts Wesleyan College in Rochester, New York. Cold as hell, but that's where my destiny was. Went there, played all 4 years, took them to the national championship. They were Division Two, NAIA Division Two, for 1 year. And actually, that was a school that a lot of the 1977 Calabar Manning Cup players went to, like Brady and Candice Nangle, Gilbert Chang. Those guys who won in 1977 for Calabar, they went to that college, and that's the college. But Paul Washington, Washi, was there, and I think I was playing for Boys Town, and he came and he asked me if I want to go there, and I was looking at other schools as well, and I told him yes, and I end up there versus the other schools. So, for me, it's a blessing that I went there actually.
Yeah, and because you're a trained CPA, right?
Yeah, I'm a licensed CPA.
A license
currently, and that's where all my kids are were born.
Okay.
So, and then also after just being in Rochester, right after I finished college, the Rochester Rhinos started their new franchise. So it was like almost perfect timing, because I was like the second person ever signed with Rochester Rhinos franchise.
And the first Jamaican.
And the first Jamaican who signed a contract. Yeah, we had another Jamaican, Howard Allen, who went to college with me as well. But yeah, I was the first Jamaican to sign a contract there as well.
Yeah. Okay, and how many years did you do at Rochester Rhinos, and what was your career like there?
I did 4 years at Rochester. When the time it was the A League, and then it was when my last year just turned into the USL. So it was called the A League at the time, and then the US Open Cup, which we beat Colorado and won that. That was where Colorado was the MLS team. So and the first year we went to the finals against DC United, and we lost in the US Open Cup, which DC United had it was coached by Bruce Arena at the time. They had like DSR Say, Echeverry, They had like John Arks. I mean, DC was a top team. Actually, that year we beat Tampa. They mutiny with Valderrama, Roy Lassiter. I mean, these are US players, and obviously Valderrama. Carlos Valderrama is world renowned from Colombia.
And the great. Yeah. Echeverry is a Bolivian as well.
Yeah, but he played for DC United.
Yeah.
They beat us in the finals, but in the semifinals we beat Tampa Bay Mutiny with Valderrama and so forth. And at that time, Rochester was the place to be. So, I got called up for the national team during that time, but my interest in the national team was not there. And the reason for that was more, I had a young family, and Jamaica football didn't really interest me because there was nothing like was encouraging me or enticing me to go play for Jamaica, like fully.
All right, I think you need, if you can, because what happened is, sorry, yeah.
No, go on.
Yeah, no, I was telling you just if you could, so we can see your face because I think you were close up, so there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So you said the football didn't interest you?
Not really. The reason why I had a young family, and then on top of it, I was making good money from Rochester. The football at Rochester was really top notch. The stadium, you had 12 to 15,000 every game. And we were doing really well. So I didn't really feel like Jamaica football was where I wanted to be. That wasn't really my main focus at the time. So I didn't really.
This was leading up to the 1998 World Cup campaign, right?
And I actually was. I got called up a couple times for that also, because then I was still playing professionally at the time, A League, and at the time. The last time, even Paul Young was playing with me at Rochester at the time, and I told him, I said, "Listen, man, you can go, and I don't want to go for whatever reason. I mean, Jamaica wasn't paying any money at the time. Only certain players were getting the real salary, and I had a young family, I had my bills, and I was making good money with Rochester. So they wanted you to leave and go home for an extended period of time to be part of the program." And you're going to give up everything that you have in the U.S., but you're not getting anything in return. So I couldn't afford that. So that's one of the reasons why I wasn't really interested too much.
Yeah, because listen, so I was having this conversation yesterday. And it's not like you and I spoke about this, but I think sometimes people don't understand. And I was saying to persons that as a responsible individual, if a youngster approaches me, all right, I'm talking about one born outside of Jamaica, but he qualifies to play for Jamaica because of his heritage. When I think about, and I'm supposed to advise him, given the state of Jamaica's football, I'd love for him to play for Jamaica, but at the end of the day, my interest is what is the best interest of the person. And I have no problems with the person opting to do what is best for them and their family. Because if you give up all of that to come and represent the country, and then the earnings are not enough and your family suffer, then the same people who would have wanted you to make the choice would look and say, look at you, you're playing football, and what look at your pity them, look at your family, why you never do this? And I think the footballing fans want the best players, and I do. But I also understand that the best players must make the best decision, in terms of their family and their legacy first.
Well, stick a pin. I'll tell you this. And Paul, I don't know if I didn't hear the entire interview, but Paul Young gave up his contract with Rochester Rhinos, which was very lucrative, to go to Jamaica to try to be in the World Cup. He didn't go, and he lost his contract. And unfortunately, I was still there, so I talked to the Rochester people, and he came back, but he came back at a big pay cut.
There you go. He lost the amount
and he
of
lost
money.
A lot of revenues for that.
There you
who's
go.
going to compensate you for these things? And that is one of the reasons why. And I think Anjo Price had talked about that previously, where he was like, he wasn't interested in the Jamaica team because
Andrew Price said the same thing, because there you go.
so that was one of the reasons I wasn't really interested in really making the sacrifices, because to play for Jamaica at the time, you had to make a ton load of sacrifice, and I couldn't afford that at the time. And I wasn't willing to do that.
Yeah, because I'm saying, listen, a youngster, because I went even further, um, to emphasize that when you think about a youngster, you have a son that plays. I have kids who can represent. If America approaches my son and say, listen, we want you to be a part of our team, an integral part of your team, and Jamaica approaches my son at the same time. The truth is, I love Jamaica, but the best option for my son is to represent because of what it affords. Now, if he's going to be a fringe player, it is different. But
Yeah.
if he's going to play an integral role, when you think about him wanting to have a career in football and the visibility and the promotions and the advertising, you have to also look at that. And I'm saying that if a person takes that option, I am cool with it, because a man is obligated to choose what is best for his family. A next person will say, listen, I've made enough money, I can sacrifice some to represent Jamaica, because it's not, and that's fine, because you're at a different place. But the younger the person is, the tougher that decision is.
Yeah, and that was a big thing. I mean, financially, it was a big thing because, again, only certain people were getting lucrative contracts at the time, to be able to afford making those sacrifices, and I wasn't willing to do that. But stick up in on one of the topic you just said about, the youths, boy or girl who want to represent Jamaica, they weren't born in Jamaica. That's one of the biggest issues out there that I see with youth football. And the problem is that when they go to Jamaica, they don't get the opportunity. For whatever reason, the coaches don't feel like they're good enough, or they don't get a good look in. But they end up playing for the US, end up playing for Canada, end up playing for. So how come these, and they're playing professionally, but they're not good. They're not better than the high school kids, them who can't even control a ball. And that is the problem with, well, anyways, that's a different topic. But, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be addressed as far as that is concerned.
Yeah, but let me take some more comments, because you have a lot of fans. This is Errol Andrews says, Juvie Lionheart, Cop said this. I knew he was going to be great. C-Barman also.
Cop is one of the youth them who, even when he was young, probably about a year or two older than me at Calabar, but take me under him wing too and mentor me. He was from Westport, so him is the great Dion Messi Wilmot little cousin. So bless up Cop.
Yeah. All right. And then Ratty says, one of the rough and tough defenders.
Yeah.
And then Carlton Claggy Alexander, Cornwall College, and what other man says, and Valley Kicker says, bless up, man, large up, Mr. Minot.
Bless up, blessings, sir.
Yeah, man. And then Garfield says again, for a small body player, he played with a big heart. Juvie, bad like what?
Can't do it no other way.
Yeah, man. And then the big man Joe down him says, hail up my friend and teammate Sir Juvie, my left back, top. Salute my friend. Boy,
Joe
for
down,
life.
Joe down, love you like, boy, you not even know, because when I went to Boys Town, Joe down, one of the big man them who really take me under them wing and them understand Ghetto and Rima living, him and Milton Hardware and Garfield.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. And then see Chris Smith here saying, big baller, Juvie, real talk, cause you're not good enough to play for Jamaica. Yeah, he's talking about the point you just raised. But we're going to come to that, because that's where you and I agree. Like, how can, but we're going to come to that because you have a son that I follow his career, without you knowing that, let's see. But I know you manage your thing, you manage your whole thing differently as a father. So we'll get into that. But I mean, what was the best time of your career? So let me just ask my those questions and get this part over.
Seriously, and I touched on it earlier. My best time of my career was at Boys Town.
Okay.
Without a doubt, and it's just the love and the energy. Carl Brown love. I mean, Rima love, Trenchtown love. That is one of the things that make that time of my career so special. It's just the people that embrace it and just make you feel like you're part of it. And I touch on that. The way the love was so strong. Out there, booming my son Keenan, when he was 15 and he was a top player too, he went down and was playing with Boys Town in the summer. Okay. And the Boys Town people extend the same love that them show me to that kid. And that is what I respect Trenchtown and Rima people.
Yeah, awesome. Listen, so who did you admire, either locally or international, in your youthful days? Like when you look at them, you said that is how I want my game to be.
You know, it's funny because it's one youth, one person I really emulate and I mean wanted to be, and I learned a lot of his tricks, and a lot of people don't know that. But it's another pearl and white man. But I gonna tell you, so it's a lot of KC youth growing still. You see me, beside Kevington Henry, who is the really person who really groom me as a youth. But Paul McDonald skill, them call him Mackie. At the time he was that was what, around 80, 81. He was a centre for KC. He won Buzz play centre when they won the Manning Cup. So he was
the one you emulate, Paul McDonald.
Paul McDonald, because he was just the general, and he still is the general. So he was the person that I really wanted to, and he started teaching me some things. And then, you know, at the same time, then Pantan came to Federal at the same time. Donovan Pantan.
Who moved to Boys? Who played for Boys?
Yeah, man. Yeah, when he was at Dintil, he played for Federal.
Okay.
And then I see he was composed on the football, so that was the other side of the football that I really wanted to be part of. So, you know, those are the two that I really look up. At the time, I never have time for watching a foreign ball, you know. Only when World Cup come around, I used to watch World Cup. Never have time. Big League Soccer comes Sunday, but when Big League Soccer I go on, them tired them and I play a ball in the sun on Sunday. So, you know, it's not like now where we have all this, you know, YouTube and stuff to watch it. So it's really like the people I'm in a community where I used to look up to. So that was the person I wanted to be. And actually, my first time going to stadium and watching a Manning Cup game was KC playing, and it was skill I went to watch.
Yeah.
While I was at Calabar.
Yeah. All right. So then the next thing, you're going to football war. Who is the goalkeeper you're bringing with you?
You know, so no disrespect. That's a hard question. That's still, you know, but between me and you still, you know, is a tie between Ninja Clive and Marvin Chin still, you know. Yeah. No, but we can't. No, Richie Sterling. No, man, I can't do that. I can't do that. That is a hard one. I can't do that. I'm going to have like, but back up, because I got to have Richie, I got to have Marvin, I got to have Ninja Clive.
So you have three: Ninja Clive, Richie Sterling, and Marvin Chin. No,
and then no, me have to go back to my virgin a Federal name, Big Red Pot. So no, it's too much. I can't do that. Don't do that to me. Right. Let's move on to.
All right, who is the centre back you're going to bring beside you?
Not going there. Too many again. I play with a lot of players, so you know it's hard for me to really pick out one answer because I start doing a little goalkeeper and then so many names start coming to mind. So I'm not going to do it without.
I know, but at least with defenders better because there can be 4 defenders in the back, you know.
No, man, I whole heap of them, man. You can't go there. So, you know, when the ball, we play on the ball, because I'm never going to call Price, I'm never going to call Panther, I'm never going to call Skill, I'm never going to Sammy D, I'm never going to call Johnny Ford, I'm never going to call Jack Whoopton from. Too many. I can't bother.
PB, what the man is saying that if he's going to war, he don't know who he's going to take.
No, man, I have to go really load up and think about it.
Yeah. All right. Which forward that you'd say, listen, you see this forward? Well, I tell you, whether he's going to be on my side, I would want him on my side, and I would not want him on the other side because he's too dangerous. I don't want to go up against him, but I'd want him on my side.
Don't you know, say, never go in one of the ball away And no disrespect, but me just are going on an all time ball and me used to love because them you there, I'm a hero in my community and them name Pablo Van. Him are the youth who mother me can't manage him, but I would want him on my side every time.
Okay, Paul Van. All right. See, you give you a name. It's not that bad, man.
No, because I could have said Andy Simply, I could have said Lenny Hyde, I could have, you know what I'm saying? I could have keep on going to, you know, I could have said Bowled. I'm just saying there's just so many. I could have said Nandi Lowe, I could have said Walter Boy. You understand me? But I'm just saying Pablo is, because from as a youth, just Pablo are the man, the pearl. Him are the man with federal, he was federal. So him carry federal upon him back, so I just have to bless him up and big him up.
Yeah, man. Kirk Russell says, big up my brother and schoolmate.
Yeah, man, bless up yourself, my youth and I.
Man, and then Norris Robert says, color red until I shut my eye.
Always.
And then this is Kirk Williams saying, bless up Juvie, Rabalock, legend.
All the time, my lion, all the time.
The man I tell you which keeper you ever choose. This is Kirk Williams says is Richie Sterling.
Yeah, that's why I tell him I get myself in trouble because Richie have to do that.
Yeah, and then Kirk Hendricks from down in Western Jamaica. I say I must ask you about Paul Teagat Davis.
That me I tell you, say Bongo I gotta be the big man too, so there's too many to pick out. Me don't want to go there. I'm telling you, it's just tough. I can't leave out Chippa Morgan, I can't leave out Benny Dias. You understand? Because in my schoolboy career, them Salah Lewis, and them give me the peer problem.
Yeah.
Cover, Richard Pat cover. You know, you understand me? So I mean, there's too many.
Yeah, man. I mean, what was your most memorable, achievement in terms of football? That one that brought you the most joy. That yes, I did this. Above everything else, that one thing that it stands out, that you keep in your scrapbook, that it's the reference point to your footballing career. It is that thing that when people come, you say, listen, when they come over, that's the page you want to skip to show them.
No, there are plenty of them still, but I guess the highlight, or I really have to put it, is there is a game against Kingston College, 1984, in the National Stadium. I think that's the game that I feel like maybe it's my best schoolboy game ever. And it's one of them dominant games.
1984, Calabar versus KC, National Stadium, Manning Cup.
The Mother Water, yep.
Oh, the One Love game?
No, man, we beat them 2-0.
2-0? Okay. And that was a top KC team?
Yeah, man.
That was the same KC team you said that beating
most of them. But that's a team. That's the team. That was KC, one of the top team. You had Brian Clark, and you have Perry Marshall, and you have Sang, and you have McCray, and that was like one of the top team. Okay. And those that day. But remember now, when I was young, it was 84, our first year Manning Cup.
Oh, I think
that was the year that was the game that I actually dominate, playing sweeper at probably 5-1.
And you were around 13, 14?
84?
Yeah, 84. Because you went to school at...
Yeah, I was 15.
Because you went to school 10 going 11.
Yeah, I was just 15, I just started, and first year Manning Cup. But that's the game that I think really stood out to me, where I think everything KC came with, I dominate them.
Whoa. I mean, do you look back at your career and do you have any regrets in terms of, man, I wish I had accomplished that. I wish I had won that and it have been satisfying. Or you look back and say, listen, it is what it is. And I
have no regrets in my career and my life because I have accomplished more than what a normal person accomplishes. I literally accomplished everything that a youth would want to accomplish in a football career, literally, from winning in Jamaica, playing at the high level, playing at Manning Cup, and playing at a top school like Calabar, I've put that out there. No, that's an institution. The best school in Jamaica. No, it's not. I not say it. I just tell you, when you go to Calabar, it's almost like, I can't speak for any other school and school boy, but that is the place to be. There's no other place beside that 61 Radios Road. I'm serious. So no, I'm just saying, I mean, that is where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
That is where I dreamed to be, and I ended up there. Win National League, play for Jamaica at the youth and the senior level, play professionally, got a scholarship, which I always wanted to. And now I'm a top professional in what I do. So I have no regrets in my football career. My football career have done well for me.
Yeah. All right. Everton Mattis says, blessings baller, fire red.
All right. The time.
Yeah, man. And then Ratty is saying again that Juvie, it's a game against Trinidad in the quadrangular tournament. He thinks that is your best game, but you believe is
that is cool. I mean, I have plenty more because I've played a lot of good games. Great, probably great games for Boys Town too. A lot of other great games for Calabar. I mean, I think even the 87 when I was the only one. I think we beat Camperdown 1-0, which Camperdown was a top team. And I literally have the whole Camperdown side in my back pocket. So, I mean, there's a lot of game out there that I can, but that was the first one that came to mind.
Oh, somebody saying that Waterloo game at Sabina in the backyard of the Marv team.
Yeah, Sabina, Washi stand up in the cricket pitch.
Well, yeah.
It's Sabina Park instead of stadium, that's true.
Because he said, yeah, man, Washi in the middle of the cricket pitch, dominating.
True that. Thanks for the correction, NI. Thanks for the correction.
That's Paul Washington he's talking about, but Washington.
Yeah, man, Paul Washington, cool man, in the middle of the park.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, you raised a important a little point earlier that I want us to touch on, because you have a son that is playing in the Portuguese second tier right now, but he's very young. I know at 15 he was on the radar of the America Soccer Association, but has yet to be called up like for a youth team in Jamaica, and that is partly because you want to hold him back to have him mature. But the bigger point that you raise is, why is it that so many of these youngsters who are born outside of Jamaica, when they come to either be called up, try out, whatever you want to call it, they can't make a Jamaica team that has predominantly youth playing schoolboy football, but when they go back to the country that they are born in, they are representing Canada, they are representing America, and those teams are doing well, and we are not.
Well, I think one of the things, and I have first-hand experience with that, not with my youngest son, but with my oldest son. Because at the time he was doing well with the adults at 15, went to the U17, I didn't even give him a look in.
That's a Jamaica U17?
Yeah, and he said he want to come home because they wouldn't even give him a shot. He was down there. So what I'm saying is that there's a lot of bias and stigma with, you're foreigner, you're not better than the Jamaican youth, because the Jamaican youth, them more skillful or whatever. But I beg to differ. Yeah. I beg to differ. And I, outside of my kids, I will show you another example. When Jamaica, when was it, 2 years ago? There's couple kids who play under 17 for Jamaica. In the first round, they were playing, and Jamaica qualified to go to move on to the next stage. And they were with Atlanta United. Okay? And when they came back for the second round, these kids don't even see the game, and Jamaica don't win a game. And these kids, I know, because I monitor them, because at the time they were...
Your son was also at Atlanta United.
He was at Atlanta United, so I was following these other kids who were older than him. That there was some bias on the coaching and the Jamaica setup that these kids don't even see the football field.
And they were part of the team that was playing in the first round of the tournament.
Yes, and they played. Okay?
And
And when they came back, there was a difference, because people... people always said it, even now with the senior team. I mean, I don't believe in so many one-sided English or foreigner, but if they have the heritage and they want to play for Jamaica and their heart is with playing for Jamaica and they're better than who we have, why not? The
Absolutely.
onus is on the JFF to develop the ballers that were down at Jamaica to become better than the others that are coming in. Don't become biased because they're not born and raised in Jamaica. My kids, they're probably more Jamaican than you would ever know because that's everything them do is about Jamaica.
Yeah, listen, I always say to people that there are Jamaicans living overseas who would gladly come back to Jamaica. And there are some Jamaicans, if they got the opportunity in the morning to leave, them gone about them business.
Correct.
But,
that's all. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. There's different things. You have to ask whoever was in charge of coaches and all that stuff why they make those decisions. But that is the thing. And I will go and touch on this just a little bit. When the whole Kyle Butler and Leon Bailey issue, when they were saying that Leon don't want to play for Jamaica and all stuff, these are the things that Leon was saying, but nobody wanted to listen. Leon was saying technically, how can you have someone who's in a professional setup year in, day out, playing against pros, even if it's in the B division, at a high level, training at a high level, that you don't even want to give a call to look at?
That is the issue.
The
issue
problem.
I have is, why is it, here's my reasoning, because I'm a reasonable person. If you believe that the players in Jamaica are so good, then have the others, the overseas born kids, come and have a fair tryout. Because if the Jamaicans are that good, they will still stand out. What is it? You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying, if you upfront are saying that, well, we have all of these talented players and they are so good, then you should not have any fear or reservations with having as many persons born outside of Jamaica to come and try. Because here's why. If the locally born Jamaicans are so good, it's not going to affect them. But when
you see
don't
what you said?
allow them, there is a problem.
What you said is key. Fear, child. They will give them an opportunity to come, but are they going to get a fair look in? Unbiased look in? That is critical to what we are talking about.
Yeah, and I think that is what we need to fix, because I know, like now with this present under 20 team, like I said, attract some of the players' career, including your son who have been following. I mean, you don't get a lot of stuff, but they're out there, you see the moves and you see the transitions. No, what I don't want to hear is that, listen, yeah man, he came and they put them in a 11-a-side game and 20 minutes, they give them 20 minutes and then, so what I'd love to know is that what we need to do to ensure, like I said, when that selection is being done, here are the things that are going to be done to determine. And then because it's easy, at the end of the selection process, make it transparent so people can know what you measured the overseas born and the local born player. So you can show it by the stats in their games. Who did what, and and do all of that. But it cannot be that, like I said, you have these guys who can play and make the Canada team at 19, but they can make the Canada national team at 19 and 20, and they can't get into a Jamaica under 20 team. Something is wrong.
See, that's the thing where that's the factor where I don't really talk about my son and his progress in relation to this. Is the first time I'm really openly talking about this, and I don't want that to become an issue for him, because we speak about these things because people are fickle and in a lot of ways. But what I will say is this, what you do with a kid who, say, is a top player for Atlanta United or he's a top player for Inter Miami, right? And he come down to Jamaica, don't even get a chance, and his whole mental is messed up, right? He get his mental back together, start going good, then Jamaica call him because United States or Canada or England or somebody call him up. Jamaica is saying that him should have played for Jamaica. But Jamaica just throw them to the wolves and leave them alone. And it's the same thing with a lot of talented young Jamaican players as well. That maybe at the time something wasn't going right, and then because they don't become not good all of a sudden. There's an issue and there's a reason. How
Yeah.
do we nurture that and how do we fix that and protect these kids? Because I believe, and it's probably because of my personal experience now, just having gone through all of these things with my youngest son, is I believe mental health is so critical in the youth football. And if they don't have anyone to help them through that process, then they will lose. We will lose them either through burnout, through fear, through just can't process everything that is being thrown at them. And I think that's one of the critical things reason why we lose a lot of youth players. And that's one of the reasons why I never really pushed my son to become part of any
The you
U17
setup,
or
yeah.
U10. No, because there's a lot of the mental aspect of, and we talk about it, but we take it for granted. The mental aspect of football, even at the senior level, is so critical. Can you imagine at the
Yeah.
youth level?
Yep.
And if they're not ready and they're not right for all of that, and I'm gonna give props where props is deserved, and I will say it. I think one of the person who know what these boys gonna go through, but maybe the approach is not, and that's just my opinion. I'm gonna want him cuss me out,
Yeah.
but I think Craig Butler have a very good idea of what that entails for a youth. And I will say the reason why I said that because he's the first person that brought my son to Europe. Okay, he's the first person that at 15 brought my son, and he was in Malta with him, and he was in Belgium, and stuff like that. So kind of like expose him to what he's gonna have to deal with to be successful in Europe, and I think that was one of the big experiences for him. And I will give Bullet that, and big him up for that stuff.
Yeah. Very important. Like I said, I am eagerly watching to see what will happen with some of these players. And I will even what I add to that is this very simple thing. At any level, let me just set the premise for this because sometimes you're misunderstood. At any level, it is wrong to not give people a fair opportunity when they want to represent the country. What I find even more alarming, however, is that when you have players who have represented the country, when it is their kids that have to go through this, that is what baffles me. Like how I'm just going to call, as many nationals, Ricardo Fuller, Ricardo Gardner, Leon Minot, Freddie Butler, Paul Young, Tyrone Marshall, Andy Williams, and how can these guys have kids, Gregory Messam, these guys have kids and grandkids, all of these guys in the States? Don't you think because these players represented the country, they probably would know the quality of their kids enough to determine if you can add value to the Jamaican system? Because they're a part of it. So when I can understand when the person has no football experience and they call up the JFF or whoever and say, I have a son, I can understand you having reservations. I don't agree with it, but I can understand you having reservations. But if Paul Young says, listen, my son is with me at Atlanta United. He's training with the first team, right? I think he can play under 17. Why wouldn't you take that? It's not like me who is a local, you understand?
No,
If
but
you run
that is an extent. That is an extension of your scouting system. That is an extension because they be people who've been in the system and understand what it takes. So why wouldn't you? It's not. You're right, as you rightfully say. It's not somebody just coming off the street just saying something like that. So you have to be like checking the credibility and No,
Exactly.
these are people who understand it. So it's like me out there and I see a young kid and him can play it and him really look good. Him have no relation to me. And I call up someone in JFF and say, listen, I see this kid is really good. You need to take a look at him. It's an extension because we've been there. We understand
Exactly.
what it is.
Exactly. I'm saying that don't take my opinion because this is just you understand me.
I think the bigger issue with Jamaica thing is that we don't have a good scouting system. And everywhere else in the world have a good scouting system and a database and keeping tracking of people. And even the former players, them who play for Jamaica, I guarantee you that JFF don't know where most of them are and what they're doing. And these are some of the things that you track because these are resources that you can tap into.
Yeah. 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 Because you're I mean, so many are out in the Atlanta area, so many are out in Florida. I mean,
All over.
all over. And I'm saying all we need is to find a way of bringing all of
See,
this.
the other problem is this, and I'll tell you this. The other problem is that we wait until a tournament is coming up to assess and evaluate players. Okay? In any other system in the US, they have a big pool of players and they call up these players at random and they go through the training and it's a continuous evaluation of these players. Not just when a tournament coming up, you call 20 players and then boom, it's a crash course. No, it have to be over time. But anyways, that is bigger than me right now. In a lot of ways. Yeah, it's
Well, I'm hoping that, like I said, I'm looking to see what will happen with your son. His name is, oh geez, I forget his name,
It's Ethan.
Ethan.
Right now I ain't putting no pressure on him. He just signed a pro contract, and I just want him to just relax and enjoy football and see and continue to progress and develop. If he come to Jim,
because I know the people are going to want to know. He's at FC
Phil Geddes.
Phil Geddes.
Phil Geddes.
1932.
1932.
Wait, let me just spell
Portugal.
it for you. FC, which is F.C. FELGUEIRAS. So all of you who are agents and trackers of players, one more Jamaican youngster for you to track. All right, and then a couple more comments. David Andrew says, "Real top baller." All right, so
Bless him.
yes, what these people, they know you, so that's why they say great point on using the ex players as extension of the scouting system. Yeah,
always, Kirk. Always.
Yeah. What Jamaica needs to do is like what Israel does. Israel is connected to its people outside of Israel. Mm-hmm. So it tap into the intellectual resources and all of those things to the benefit of the nation. And I think that's part of what we need to do as a culture. We have all of these resources that exist. Jamaica is so big, not in terms of the population size here in Jamaica, but we are so big.
The extended family.
Exactly, in the extended family across nations, because a lot of things that we need to see in Jamaica, we already have Jamaicans in them.
And doing it.
And
correct.
doing it successfully.
So it's going to come back to another issue, which is political, and I don't get into politics and with football politics. I don't know if Jamaica, the administrative aspect of the football, is up to speed with the changes and the technology and everything that's going on. And I know it's probably going to say because it's cost, benefit, and all this stuff, but everyone is doing it. And I think it's just time for change, and we need to change in a different direction. And I think we still live it's sitting in the old.
Yeah.
And I think we need to move out of there, because if we don't, we're going to continue to lose, and we continue to be behind everybody else.
Further behind, we're going to be left further behind. And that's what's happening. All right. But I mean, very good conversation. Although you didn't answer some of the questions, but not a problem. Outside of Calabar, tell me, who is your the team that you support?
Boy, so I get no flack. I want shirt to Avon. That's what look like a Manchester United shirt.
No. It is not.
Going to Arsenal thing. I can't bother with Manchester United. That's my team. every time.
All right. So people want to know we have come to the end of this interview. We want to
Manchester United, I'm going to tell you why. It's just because, after playing against Dwight York, and then when he transitioned and start following his career, that's where that's like, it's almost like so close to home, and that's where it all started.
Yeah, but Ian Wright,
I don't have
big up Jamaica.
Oh?
Ian Wright, always a big up Jamaica at Arsenal.
We never play against him. Not about people who me
John
touch and say,
John Barnes always a big up Jamaica at Liverpool.
No, you want to John Barnes and the Liverpool thing now. Him did the second still, but after now, we start following Manchester United and we realize them not really see eye to eye. We just have to cut off Liverpool. And it's a weird thing about it. Ethan is the biggest Liverpool fan.
Okay. Well, I'd love to see how both of you operate when Manchester is at their peak and Liverpool
Him just
at
have to
their
lock
peak.
him just have to lock him room because he not get no food to eat.
All right, bless up Ethan. I see Kalen.
Yeah, that's my
Also,
son.
Yeah, this is the one who was at Boys Town.
No man, it's
Keelan.
Kalen is that no. Kalen a football player. Him no want play no American football player. Him no want play no soccer. Keenan is the one that
Keenan, yeah. Yeah. All right. Listen, it's your time because we're at 1 hour and 36 minutes. We're almost at the end. So I don't know. Anything you want to add? Anyone you want to big up? Anything else you want to share as we come to the end of this? Go ahead and just take the time now.
What I want to say is I also want to say always blessing and thankful to football and football family and extended family. And the reason why, because football, it's all it is. Football give me everything. Football make me who I am. And, without the people of football and the people who follow it and the fans and the critics, we just wouldn't be where we are. And just bless them up and big up everything. Just want to bless you and big you up for the work you continue to do, the good work. Just continue to do your thing and, just love it. Seeing and just everybody, just Calabar tonight. Just cheer for Calabar School Challenge quiz. We can't leave without it because the Jago people them in my ears, but we just a big up Calabar. School Challenge quiz our thing tonight. But anyways, we just love and continue love and joy.
Yes, man. So there you have it, people. I also want to thank you, who without hesitation, once we had the conversation, yes, he was ready to come on. No hesitation whatsoever. I mean, and I'm delighted. And I know you have a heart for Jamaica. You want to see what is best for the football, as all of us want, stellar career. And so we are truly delighted to have the opportunity to speak to you, so that the Calabar persons, I see Benji, Damian Benjamin, utmost for the highest.
Always here, sir.
Big up. And I see Jason is also a Calabar man as well. You say here, sir.
Blessing.
Yeah, man. So
big up yourself, Lions out there. All the Lions out there. One love, 61 Red Hills. That's where it's at.
You see, you make the Jago man them start talk now because
no, I know, but he's a Spanish town man, and my brother and sister them go Jago and things. So, but them have a little part in my heart. But Rabalak today, it's all about Rabalak.
Yeah, man. But it is a joy. I think, like I said, I always hear about. I know the 1977 team was a very good team, but when people talk about Calabar, I think some of the memorable times was that team during your time with Washington and Sterling and Daigi Reds and and you. So that though you didn't win anything, that team had so much talent. And sometimes people measure football by titles and trophies, but it's more than that. It is because other factors can work against you, and we should never use the one result to determine how successful something is at the end, because there are many variables. And so though you may not have won those things, you still had a successful career. I also want some of the youngsters to realize that there is a life outside of football. Football is just the vehicle that you get in, but you determine the final destination.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you travel in that vehicle on a scholarship. Now you're a licensed CPA. So the other footballers, listen, you may not end up at Manchester United, but listen, you can build a house in the hills of Manchester. You
Absolutely.
understand me? So let it be the vehicle and not be the destination.
I mean, most of the youth them nowadays, they think only on the professional level, and that is okay to aspire, but you have to have that other fallback on. And
Yeah.
that is one of the things that I always put in my head is that, I go and get this degree and this
Yeah.
profession. So, there's other things outside of football. It's not everyone's going to be the top professional, but there's other ways that we can become real successful in life.
Yeah, man. All right, so blessings again. Listen, enjoy the rest of your day. Continue to make a mark. I will send you a message at the end of the
Yeah, man. Bless up yourself, man. And man. But anyways, we're gonna talk about Manchester United off the air.
I am going to send you a message after the school challenge quiz.
So what are you trying to say?
Okay.
What are you trying to say? You
I'm
take
just
side?
saying,
Are you trying to take side?
no, I'm not.
Are you trying to take side?
I'm picking a school.
All right, goodbye. We'll talk later. Anyways, bless up yourself. All
Yeah,
right,
man.
cool.
All right,
Yeah,
bless
man.
up. All right, so there you have it, people. Our conversation with Leon Juvenile Minot, national player, Rochester Rhinos player. He also played for Boys Town, Calabar, standout, right? Have a son. Now still engaged and involved in the Portuguese second tier and a professional contract. Really, really want to thank you so much, right? For joining and sticking and staying with us for this time. Really enjoyable conversation and interview. I always say listen to people and take away the transferable principles to add great value to your life. What from this can I apply to make me a better person? And that's why we provide this platform, not just to fight and quarrel and argue verbally, but also to educate each other at a higher level outside of the sport of football. It's always my great pleasure being with you. Want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Launch Legacy. Launch Legacy, handle risk, and seek legacy for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA. Visit them at launchlegacy.com or call or text them at 647-989-0782. Also want to say a big thank you to Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it most. They are located in Linstead, St. Catherine, Jamaica, and they're offering loans of up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars. No processing fee, same day processing, and only 0 to 4% interest rate. Also want to big up Trick Nick, who continues to support us by advertising their product here, and we ask you to show them some support as well. There are two events that are happening in two high schools out there in Western Jamaica that I'd love for you to show them some support. One is at William Nib and the other is at Rossies High School. At the end of this video, I'm going to play a little ad so you can see what is happening, so you can follow them and support them, right? They are doing something great for their institution to transform the landscape of those institutions, and whatever you can do to support them, I want to encourage you to do so. All right, so have a wonderful rest of the day. Remember, we have a show at 8:30 tonight. We'll be having some very special guests. Some radio personalities will be on. All right, and so they are going to discuss and give their views on the game. So please join us at 8:30 this evening. All right, we have a great interviews lined up for you. We have Admiral Bailey. We have the great Ricardo Fuller, who is going to be coming up. I mean, and just so many that we are having them share their story so you can listen. Kibaki Holloway, who transition from playing football into music to find out what that is like. So stick and stay with I Am Sure Sports. I am Man in His Man, and have yourself a wonderful day. Remember to hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. All right, please do that. Yeah, 9:30 if you're in the States. Our show tonight is 9:30 your time, 8:30 here in Jamaica. All right, bless up and listen to these two clips, one from Rochester High School, the other from William Knibb Memorial High School.
William Knibb Memorial High School D Cup Alumni presents its third annual fundraising barbecue on Memorial Day, May 30th, 2022. Wear your favorite jersey to Wilsonwood Park in Mount Vernon, New York. Remember to take exit 12 off the Hutchinson River Parkway. Music by DJ Man Max of Sound 1000. Proceeds to aid the William Knibb High School Da Costa Cup team. For more information, contact Keegan 304-607-4034. Our Codfish at 954-639-2991. Proud of people, it's important. Remember, make sure say oh no did that.
Yo, saw me, the young Jamaican trainer, Mr. Strength No Weakness himself. Yo, I'm here to tell you guys that the Broses family presents their second annual Blue and White Grill and Chill. Let me let you know something. It will be so much fun and amazing event. Make sure you show up and show out. From the young Jamaican trainer himself. Listen, Saturday, May 28th, and it's 3458 Ballard Avenue, Bronx, New York. Let's see you later. Strength No Weakness.